Oh!
Welcome to the GSL. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. We have one more GSL Kodas Crystal to give away today. Who's it going to be? One of these two here.
Jukto or BanBans Zenith. I'm excited because we don't get enough Zerg vs. Protoss matchups, Tasteless, on the GSL.
No, I've been missing out on it. It's a great matchup.
Recently, it's been a lot of TBT because that Kode, man. Kode was just full of Terrans.
I know everything about that matchup now. Our map lineup is Jungle Basin, Blistering Sands, and Zelnaga Caverns if we do go to a third game. So, Jungle Basin, that map, early game, fine, ZVP, but late game can be a little bit tough for the Zerg to get the third base.
Also,
Protoss poking with the Colossus.
Yeah, I think that, Jungle Basin, Tasteless, we've already beat it to death with the stick about Zerg versus Terran, but Protoss versus Zerg, it seems might even be better for Protoss than it is for Terran because Protoss can actually get the fastest expansion. They can actually
Have you heard of the
Nexus
Colossus?
before Cannon.
There's a unit called Colossus,
yeah.
and it's got these long legs,
Okay.
and you can climb up and down cliffs.
Okay.
So if you control the center expansion for the Protoss as a third base, you can pretty much poke the Zerg nonstop with the Colossus raise.
This unit sounds pretty excellent. I think I'm going to have to try it.
It's quite good.
Wow.
It's quite good.
All right.
So that's going to be a little bit of a tough one. Blistering Sands, we actually have really not seen very many games on. But hold that thought. Let's get to our first game. The countdown's begun. Game number 1 with these two guys. Let's go. Over here in the red, our Zerg player, a member of, or a teammate of Inca's. He is
jukto.
I believe that name in Korean is a play on Die Thor Die.
Yeah, Jukto Jung was play on words for Die Thor Die.
Now to our blue Protoss, a delicious candy.
BanBans tennis.
And BanBans, I think, is going to do the exact right build order, Tasteless. The best build order on this map for Protoss. 9 pylon scout with that probe, and then you check to see what he's doing. If it's a quick pull, you just, wall in, make a forge, whatever. And if it's not, you make your Nexus first, and your economy gets pretty out of control.
Yeah.
So I think that's exactly what we'll see from BanBans. The build order is not a big secret like the Tasteless secret hallway.
Yeah, it's not top secret. Nobody but the people that watch GSL know about that.
Yeah.
Only the ones that are paying attention and taking notes.
And that probe.
Now look at that waypoint.
A lot of waypoints, yeah.
He's like knitting.
It's like keep away the probe. It's like little drones trying to catch it and stuff, but they're being kept away by the older drones. So he sees a pull first.
Would you advise going to the expansion, Artosis, parking the probe there?
I would watch for the gases first like he's doing now. He sees that there is, in fact, a pool there. And when you see that pool, you realize, okay, he actually can't afford to make a hatchery quite yet, so you wait a little bit longer.
Now our Protoss going to go for a Nexus.
Yeah.
And, of course, he can wall in his entrance.
Yeah.
The gateway and a forge.
That's not actually a completely tight wall. It requires one more building as well. But yeah, wall that in nicely. I'm sure he'll do that pretty soon here. He's going to have to because the spawning pool is finishing up. Hatchery for the Zerg going down. And in fact, the Nexus started before the hatchery because he did get a pool first. So his economy's going to be pretty sick.
So as you can see here, forge right there. He's going to get a gateway above that. Probably when the forge finishes, squeeze a cannon in there.
Yeah. Drone was causing problems. His older brother probes come out.
Stop it. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
And the probe has finally been taken out. So next, as you can see, is going to be gateway. And our final structure, the cannon.
And he actually made that. It's now tight, that wall in that he made at the choke Tasteless.
Yep.
Notice his expansion almost done. And it's actually so tight that nothing can get in or out. So we're going to have to see what he does with this, because if he wants to actually walk out of his base, he's going to have to kill something.
Probably take out the cannon.
Yeah, perhaps.
He could potentially destroy the rocks in the back and go out that way, but I don't think that would be the best way to handle this.
No, I don't actually like that style.
Again, the strange, this zigzag formation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't like that. Drones transferring over. Right now, we have 20 drones against 25 probes. Chrono Boost, of course, keeping him ahead in the probes right now. Jukto does have 2 queens out. And smartly laying down a very quick creep tumor with one of them.
A cream tumor?
Cream tumor.
Sounds delicious.
Makes a lot of cream, man. More and more and more.
It's a creep tumor with some cream in the middle of it.
Ew.
Ew.
You're gross.
No. Ling speed on the way.
And BanBans is pretty safe right now, you know, with just 2 cannons and some well-placed buildings.
Now, since I have a question for you, because
yeah,
you know, I do mostly Terran Protoss, but you do Zerg and Protoss.
Yes.
So I want to know, what do you think about some kind of all-in 2-base timing attack, getting Banelings, busting down the entrance? Do you think that actually is good?
It absolutely can work with some of these cannon expansions. There are timings where as soon as you kill the probe, if you go down Baneling Highway as quickly as you possibly can, break all the speed limits, and go all in with it, that can be something extremely risky. But of course, that is extremely risky. Jukto obviously not choosing to do that this game. Other than that, there are some interesting builds you can do. For instance, if you suspect that he's going to tech up to, let's say, Phoenixes or Void Rays, if you go for the fastest drops possible, that's going to be very problematic for BanBans to deal with. But, of course, neither of our players going down those routes.
Would you be dropping Roaches?
You would
actually drop Lings?
It would probably be Lings, and if you can, Hydras. Matters how quickly you're doing it, how reactive you're being. But Hydraling is the best thing to drop in that situation, but sometimes it's Ling Roach.
More and more gateways here. And it looks like he's going to go for Blink.
Yep, definitely. It looks like he's just going to go for mass Blink Stalkers, probably Stalker only, even getting that +1, rushing that right out. Meantime, +1 melee attack is being upgraded for a Jukto, as well as a 3rd hatchery being made. So I'm interested to see what he's going to go for. Is he going to go actually for Mutiling? It's definitely a possibility.
You know what's too bad is this Overlord that he's sacking didn't get any intel.
Yeah.
Nothing.
A little Overlord that couldn't.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah, it is. Life is full of pain and misery, Tastes.
I know. Life is just full of suffering.
No, life is so happy.
Yeah, life is so good. So, you know, getting Blink in this situation makes for the building setup not all that bad. He can blink in and out of his base.
Absolutely.
I bet you,
Tastes, he had this planned all along. Now,
for sure. In fact, if I could just interject
Please.
for a second. If you see your opponent do this, you might want to take that as a tell he might be going for Blink Stalker.
It is
if
a possibility,
good.
Yeah. I oftentimes wall like that and just kill the cannon later. I don't know.
But it's not out of the question.
No, absolutely not. Now, this is going to make Jukto quite sad because he's going to have +2 attack pretty soon here. Blink just about done. A ton of warp gates, and Jukto's making a Spire. Now, the best counter to Muta Zergling is just a bunch of warp gate units. That's it. So, that's, of course, done with Shift command. You might be like, how was he that fast? Shift.
He made them each move separately.
And those should get away, but...
Oh, probably the worst blink ever. Now you got to be careful. You don't want to overdo your blinks.
Yeah, blink's going to be very, very important. Get away from Zerglings and Mutalisks. There is a good amount of Zerglings out. They do have +1.
I think the Protoss should have this easily.
We will see. A lot of Zerglings coming in.
So far,
no blink. There we go. Starting to blink a little bit. And blinking back, blinking back, blinking back. A lot of damage stalkers in the background, but definitely enough to finish taking this out.
Perfect. How he blinks under them.
And Muta's not very good against these quick blink attacks.
Fantastic.
Yeah. BanBans doing a good job. His stalkers are hurt, but more and more do come.
Well, this
nice.
is getting bad. He can actually go back into the Protoss expansion. I mean, the Zerg's expansion, rather.
Yeah. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do, Tasteless. Blinking ahead, get there even faster. And jukto. I don't know, Tasteless. He may be dying pretty quickly here. Zerg's coming in, trying to get the best surface area they can. Blinking away. His Stalkers have taken pretty significant damage. There's a lot of damaged ones in there. But he is dealing way more damage than he's taking.
This is pretty harsh. Well, Zerg didn't predict the massive Blink Stalkers. This isn't exactly a strategy you could tech with in the late game. GG. And a well-deserved win there for our Protoss player.
You know, Blink Stalkers can be quite nice. You can do a lot of harassment with them, catch Zerg off guard a lot of times, because it's not really the most popular strategy right now. The more popular strategies, the Mutalisk scoping would have been far better against. In fact, I encourage Zergs to go Mutalisk on Jungle Basin because it's very hard to actually use a Hydra-based army. So this was almost BanBans thinking a step ahead. Because if this was a normal map where a Zerg is more likely to go for ground units, Hydra Ling does extremely well against Blink Stalkers. So just putting that out there. Good play by BanBans, kind of reading the metagame, reading jukto ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying right before that game ended, going mass Blink Stalker doesn't normally allow you to transition really easily. And anything else, you have to basically cut back on Stalkers, especially for the amount of gateways you got. I believe you
the only late game aspect you have is the +2 attack.
Yeah.
Everything else is like, I have spent everything on
it's
units
all
and
about
gateways.
these Stalkers.
Yeah.
But doing a strategy like that can be pretty good on a map where all you have to do is deny the Zerg a third base. So
worked out very well. Very well indeed. And really, it looked like such a one-side route. And well, it was. But Mutalisk is a decent opening on that map, as I was saying before. So, you know, I feel like both of them played reasonably well that game.
Yep, it was a good game.
It was unlucky for jukto, but it happens.
Not real back and forth, but certainly one where you can learn some builds. Let's see game number 2.